I think almost everything is a scam.
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
No, but I do believe certain things like are scams that we have to buy into.
Give me an example.
Okay. I think ADT is a scam. Can we turn this a little bit mine?
Turn her headset down
Turn mine down a little bit.
Turn her headset down.
Hey, you did.
Turn the headset down. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Howie Mandel. This is Howie Mandel Does Stuff.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz, his daughter.
And Iliza Shlesinger. Are you just a one-name person now?
I think for anti-Semitic purposes, it's easier to just do the one name.
For anti-Semitic?
Why?
Because you don't want people to know you're a Jew?
No, I do want them to know, but it's actually, can you turn on my headphones? I don't know where I am. I think it's, Shlesinger is very hard for people to say.
Yeah.
And then what happens is the beginning of the interview becomes like, so is it Shlesinger? Is it? And then you start to get frustrated because you're like, can you just read it? Can we move on? And then so it all becomes about that. And so if you just do Iliza, it's not a barrier to entry.
I see. So Iliza the Jew is just for anti-Semitic reasons.
Just for anti-Semitic purposes.
Have you dealt with anti-Semitism?
Hasn't everyone to a small degree?
No, but as a comic?
No.
Are they used to seeing a Jew comic in?
I think people are. I think either Catholic, Jewish, or black. Anything
but you don't
else
talk about religion.
I don't.
No.
But for no reason other than it's just not the thing that I think about. But I might.
You don't look Jewish.
That's another thing people say. But
is that a bad thing to say?
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Well, she looks like.
Do I look Jewish?
Yes.
Why?
It's a combination.
I am Jewish, and I don't know why I take offense to that.
But that's the thing, because it's not like, oh, she looks Jewish because she's a supermodel. It's a Semitic look. It doesn't mean.
Well, look at the Wonder Woman. She's Jewish.
But she's Israeli. It's a little different.
Why?
They look different. They look different than like American. It's just like
you
a
look
different
Aryan.
Way. Well, that's by design. I had this done, and that's what every.
What do you mean you had it done?
Well, I had a nose procedure.
I did not know that.
Why would you?
You're telling, but you're very open about it.
Well, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No.
And there's a certain degree of depends on where you grow up and what you want, and everybody wants. We have inculcated into this sort of Western look that everybody sort of wants. But yeah, when you say you don't look Jewish, that means typically like curly brown hair, maybe a nose that's not exactly swoopy or pointy, maybe tan. Or, there's like.
Did you have a swoopy, pointy nose?
I have one now.
No, did you? And are you blonde?
I'm blonde
in real life.
Well, I was born blonde, so that counts. When my daughter was born, as she was being born, the doctor was like, "Oh my gosh, I see a whole head of dark brown hair," and I was like, "What? Like, why would she come out with highlights?" But it's very dark.
How old is your daughter now?
She is almost 8 months.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
And I've known you for quite a while.
Yeah.
And this is congratulations on everything. And your husband, what does your husband do?
He's a chef.
He's a chef.
He is a chef. And
that's it's working out wonderfully. I'm happy you're happy.
He opened several LA restaurants. He writes. He has his own cookbook coming out. And he writes a lot of cookbooks for people. So he's like the guy you go to if you want your restaurant to work better in your cookbook.
This is weird because I wrote a book, an autobiography. You have one out now.
It's a collection of essays. It's called
collection
All Things Aside.
All Things Aside.
Yes.
And did you write it all yourself, or do you have a part? Like when I wrote my book, it's me and it's my story. But because I was so busy, and maybe because I don't want to sit down with a pen or pencil, there is somebody.
I wrote mine with pencil.
Really?
Double spaced.
In cursive?
In cursive.
How do you write
Hebrew.
with pencil and double space?
Like in school, remember 4th grade, you'd have like a project and they'd be like, it's 6 pages. And so you double space. What do you mean, how do you write double space?
I thought that's only a computer thing.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Wait. Let me just
the original double space.
She's
I'm a teacher. But I don't know.
Wait, how old are you?
37.
You have no excuse because I'm only 2 years older than you. Double space.
Yeah.
Like they'd have the big paper.
You'd have to write 5 pages of an essay, and you wouldn't write on the next line.
What do you teach? Maybe it's a math thing. Maybe you're not a writer. Maybe
writing.
No, kindergarten. So we don't ever talk about like double space. I don't think.
Double space is what you would utilize when you didn't have a lot to say on like Harriet Tubman. So you'd be like Harriet, and you'd expand every contraction. Like. Was is not.
I don't know. I just thought double space. I just apply. Maybe they did, and I don't remember. And I just apply it to computers typing.
Okay.
You did a lot of drugs.
I did do a lot of drugs.
She forgets her schooling.
You know what? As long as you love the kids.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to love the kids. That's politically incorrect.
I'll tell you what. Oh, okay. Well, not love on
Not
them.
love.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not love up on them.
All right. So, so this book of essays. Well, what I was saying was when I wrote a book, I wrote with somebody,
Right.
And you wrote all by yourself. But I didn't know that chefs. It's some chef or restaurant's cookbook, and they have like a ghostwriter, a ghost recipeer.
It's
a ghost.
If you so it's there's different ways to do it, and he is great at writing. So you'll sit down with him and you'll say, I'm Howie, and here are all my stories behind why I cook how I do, my cultural influence and different stories behind different recipes. And then he puts it in your voice. And in some cases, he will also test your recipes to make sure the person cooking from your book gets it right. Because there's maybe a shorthand with chefs, but he'll be like, hey, you said 3 ounces. Did you really mean this? Did you, So he goes through it, captures your voice. And his book is coming out with Knopf. It's called
What?
the Don't Panic Knopf. It's like the bespoke, like cool kid publishing house. And
Knopf.
the K is pronounced for some reason.
I didn't know that.
It comes out in
I
January.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
And what font will it be in?
that I don't know, but his is called the Don't Panic Pantry Cookbook, and it's based off of a show we started in the pandemic.
I saw you. I was watching
That's
you
right.
online. You would do your little. You're not doing it anymore.
Well, no, because we've moved on to other things, and
He's
the pandemic is
writing,
over,
and you
quote,
have
unquote.
your 6th Netflix special.
I do, and
Very funny,
Thank you.
and great pants.
thank you.
Yes, I was trying
At the very least, I wanted people to be like, "Look at those pants." Have you seen it? No,
I have seen
You
it.
have.
I actually did watch it. And the first thing he mentioned is like, I like her pants. Tell me
you.
what you think of those pants. I'm like, I like them too.
Well, I was
But
trying to
they're
figure it out. I didn't know if you were
He didn't
wearing
know
a
if they were
onesie
attached.
So-
with lower pants.
This is the thing that of the couple people that have screened it. It's out now, obviously, because we're in October.
Yeah.
And it's called Hot Forever. A lot of people say that. And I'm like, oh no, I hope they're still paying attention. They are high-waisted pants with the hips cut out, which is very cool now with young people.
That's what I said. Did I not tell you
not
that?
guys. Like I don't wear those.
I could see Lil Nas X doing that for
You're
sure.
right. You're right.
You could,
I would.
but you sit down for most of your TV appearances.
Yes.
Right? You're behind a table, so
Right.
you could wear no pants. No one would know.
I would tell people. Anyway, you're very funny. So you're an accomplished writer, host, comedian. And so in this book of stories, are they based in truth?
All comedy, right?
Well, you've had some truths. I know you wrote about your relationship before, which I found fascinating.
Well, that's a collection of personal essays, and I didn't want to be beholden to like a thesis like I did with my last book, Girl Logic.
Right.
That's very hard, very academic. So this is just a collection of personal essays ranging on topics from why I think almost everything is a scam to...
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
No, but I do believe certain things like are scams that we have to like buy into.
Give me an
Like what?
example.
Okay. I think ADT is a scam. And I have, and like, so I go,
ADT, the
security-
alarm?
Security company?
yeah.
How's that a scam?
A scam because I had my stalker show up to my house and we called them 5 times. And the LAPD came back, apprehended him. And like an hour and a half later, they showed up and they were like, what seems to be the problem? And you're like, well, what am I paying for? It's not for some like middle-aged woman in a dented Prius to show up and ask me more questions. So you're paying all this money for this like false sense of security. That's a scam. A lot of...
Are you not concerned that now ADT is going to be defamed?
Wait, but don't they have like cameras and stuff so that if something does happen and
Yeah,
it
you
deters,
can get a whole
you could just get like a sign
You could
and
just
put it in
get
your
the
front
sign. That's why it's a scam. Because
because
you're
you're
just
just paying for the sign.
I mean, that was just one example.
Okay.
And I know you also have a podcast. Is ATT? I would
ADT.
imagine ADT is not a sponsor,
They're not a sponsor.
and I doubt they are going to be one.
They did let me out of my contract after I was like, oh, look, my stalker showed up. And you
Not
guys-
that I want to make this public, but you do have some sense of security now, right?
We do.
Okay, good.
We do. It's an overweight German Shepherd. And, he takes breaks.
A fat dog.
Yeah, I was describing my husband, but yeah, no,
Oh.
he's not German. But there's
He's
all
not
these.
German. He
there's
is
all
a
these-
shepherd.
He is a shepherd. There's all these things that are scam. Like I think a lot of mom-focused products are scams.
What's a mom-focused product?
Like in the book, I talk about a friend of mine adopted a girl, so I wanted to get her like a new mom gift basket.
Okay.
And we tend to market a lot of things to women that are not necessarily like, they'll be like, it's lip balm. And then the copy would be like, to keep mama's lips shiny on the go. I'm like, it's lip balm. It's not specifically for a mom. Like there's this idea that just because you're a mom,
Right.
you must be an idiot. So of course you need a tea towel that says mom versus a regular one. There's like a markup.
Marketing.
For sure, but it's
Branding.
It's branding, but it's a scam.
They also charge more.
It's a pink tax. There you go.
What?
Yeah.
A
There you
pink
go.
tax.
Yeah. Have you heard of that?
No.
The pink tax is the upcharge for something like a girl's bicycle versus a boy's bicycle.
But that is different. It's got that bar.
No, but even razors.
Where the crotch goes.
Like
Yes.
the pink
Which
razor.
I think is the opposite. I think the boys' bicycle should not have a bar close to our nuts. The boys' bicycle should have the drop bar. The girls' bicycle should have, and that's something you can balance on.
I can't remember I don't know the bar discrepancy, but color alone or like a razor.
You don't know the difference between a boy's bicycle and a girl's
He's
bicycle?
stuck on the bicycle topic
No, let's
now.
do it because I don't know.
The boys' bike. Put up a picture of a girl's bike. A girl's bike is got the bar. Like,
Show me.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
A boy's bicycle.
I really
do
do.
you? Or is it just because you rode here together?
No, we didn't ride here together. But look, here you go. There's pictures you can look.
I just hope people at home can see this.
And well, if they're watching it on YouTube, they can. And if they're not, so look at these two people
So,
right here.
this versus that.
So the girl, you see the man and the woman?
No, you changed
No,
it.
you changed it.
There.
The man and the woman riding. Blow up this one in the top center. Well, yeah, there. Look. So the man's on a boy's bike. You see it's got the bar across that goes right to the handlebar.
That is weird.
So if you slip off the seat, it's going to hurt.
Why is
Whereas the
that?
girl's bicycle doesn't have any.
have it.
And shouldn't that should be ballroom?
Is that because we're supposed to be in dresses? I don't know.
Well, you,
Oh, maybe.
you would wear a dress to ride a
No,
bike?
women historically have done that, and I
Why?
wonder.
Oh, Rich hasn't answered. Use the microphone. You can use it.
It's so the woman doesn't have to lift her leg up. to get
God
over
forbid.
More,
Okay, I hear that, but if anything, that bar costs more to affix to that bike.
So every
the
single
boys
guy's going to get a
should
scoop
be
bed
more.
now.
The boys should be more
The boys
because
should
it
be
has
more.
more material.
Say that again.
The boys' bike should cost more because
it has more material.
It has
Does a
that
girl's
bar.
bike cost more than a boy's bike?
The idea is that in general, things for women tend to cost more. If it's colored pink or if it's geared toward women, our body wash versus yours, probably because men will wash with bark. And we need something scented. But
I'm always fascinated by that. I said I was in a drugstore the other day, and you have more moisturizer.
Oh,
like you're a human being, like me.
another scam.
Do you guys dry out more
Do you
than
ever
we do?
stop and think that the thing in your moisturizer is making your skin dry, so you need more moisturizer?
Well, that's soap.
Just saying.
I think you're wrong.
No,
I'm not wrong.
No, it's like I
like
think there's-
Carmex. No, not a Carmex. Like one of the lip things that dries
Oh,
out
I
your
thought
lips.
you meant
so you can-
CarMax. Like
CarMax?
what
Another
do cars-
scam. No, I
what
don't
do
know.
cars have to do with this?
No, nothing.
Yeah, and they also say that sunscreen, which I don't know this, but I heard a bunch. I watch TikTok a lot.
I do too. It's a problem.
And I saw now
Anybody
there's this
with
big,
a 15-second attention span, that's
It used to be 30
it
but-
did.
for me. Now it's 15.
I saw
You watch in
that.
slow motion.
What was I going to say? Shit.
Oh no! You proved him. You proved him right. You were talking about moisture creating the need for more moisture.
Oh no! Okay, sunscreen. Sunscreen actually causes skin cancer. The chemicals in sunscreen that you put on your skin,
No.
and the sun
No.
beats down on you, and then it goes into your skin and it causes cancer. I don't know this. Not a scientist. Have no idea. Just
Iliza has
saw-
an answer.
I think it was one company that had recalled theirs because of cancer-causing chemicals. I mean, you could make the argument that almost anything could cause cancer. You
I'm
don't know.
fascinated by you personally because your book and your stories and even your stand-up is kind of scam-centric. Like but it is, right? It is. Like you think this is going to do this? No, it will not do this. Guys, you think if you do this? No, you will not land us.
We're here to unearth things. I'm a big fan of like, let's call it like it is. You might be upset, but we didn't lie. And I'm a big fan of
But you get
examining
scammed a
things.
lot, you said. You get scammed.
What? I didn't say that.
ADT.
I just said they were a scam.
And you got scammed. Is that public, the boyfriend before? What? The boyfriend, you had a boyfriend for a year and it turned out he didn't live
I
where
made a whole movie about it.
I know.
Okay. That's
So
a scam.
That's a big fucking scam.
Everybody gets scammed, and then it's just about how much are you. I mean, in a way, we have to buy into everything, right? Like when buying the insurance on something, like you kind of know it's a scam. You kind of know that you
Is
don't
it?
need it. I think so. Or like,
Well, the chances are you don't need it, but you've never made a claim?
well, there's insurance, and then there's insurance. There's like you rent a car, get the insurance. Like, but I already have the insurance, or package insurance, or traveler's insurance. There are companies where you'll buy the insurance for the flight, and that company's not associated with the flight. You got scammed. It doesn't work. So this is just about reading the fine print and making sure you're not clicking.
But
on
I'm
the
sensing
box.
that maybe your whole being is a reaction to these giant. Are you wounded? No. In a giant scam?
No, I think it's just about the older you get, sort of having your eyes open, and it's less about the scam as much as we live in a really complicated, at times very scary society, and it's about, as you get older, knowing, what's out there and what's not, and just kind of always questioning things.
Here's and we've had the talk before. Like the point is, to a smaller degree, we are being scammed a lot, and that's the makings of your book and the makings of your
just one chapter, folks. I mean, the rest. I mean, we talk about first boyfriends, normal stuff, but there is just one chapter. I just want to clarify.
Well, how old were you when you had your first boyfriend?
With this one, this wasn't about a boy. This was about just being young and how young people even make dumb choices and how.
What was your dumb choice?
Oh, it wasn't a choice as much as it was a story about how there's nothing better than kissing a boy at camp. And he lived in New Jersey. And
when you say camp, you're not talking about Auschwitz.
Oy, Howie.
No, you brought up the Holocaust.
How could I be talking about that?
I don't know.
How good do you think I look for my age? It was about this plan we had where I would visit New York and we would get married. I was 14. And how
did you meet in New York? Oh, camp.
The camp was in upstate New York. He lived in New Jersey. And it's just about when you're younger, and I lived in Dallas. In my mind, this kid lived in like Ocean City. I'm like, of course he'll just take the train at 14 from another state. And it's just about how you have all these ideas. I'm like, I'll get a fake ID, go to the city, we'll lie to the government, I'll get married, and then I'll return home and go to my freshman year of high school. Like just these, when you like love someone, just these plans, and none of it happened. He couldn't come to the city that day. He had a family thing. I never saw him again. But just...
What's his name?
I don't remember his name.
Yes, you do.
I do remember his name.
Yeah. You're a lot.
He's got a private account. No.
Let's phone him.
I don't have his number.
We could look it up.
No.
Yeah. What state does he live in?
No, because the rest of the story is...
Oh.
That was the big plan. We talked like all through never saw him again. And then when I was in my 20s, I was back east for a gig, and he like Facebook messaged me or something. So this is several years later. And we decided to meet up. And it was all about how like the magnetic attraction you feel to like another 14-year-old without adult supervision is not the same as when you're like 23 or 24 and nothing happened. And it's just this idea of like, you can't take it with you, right? Like you can never go home. Like the way that felt then doesn't translate all those years later. And it's just like a story that you hold on to, but it speaks
You
to
are
that.
probably the most honest, kind of icky, a tidbit kind of girl as far as like in watching your special, these things that are real funny and really, but they're very real. Yeah. I would imagine that people walk away from your special and we even concern how we get onto a bed. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No? You want dirty stuff. You like dirty stuff.
No, in your special at the beginning.
No, in your special, you talked about the girl goes. I'm talking about
get into bed.
What did you think I was asking you?
I don't know. I'm just trying to pull out keywords.
Yeah, you thought I was scamming you. That is real because you're talking about. No. You talked about how when people are dating or when they're hooking up for the first time, guys are really into it and they just want to hop on and do it.
It's a PSA. It's at the beginning, I set it up by saying like, look, I always want girls to feel good, but boys, I never want to leave you out. So here are some gems of wisdom that I have from dating and being in my 20s, because now I'm withered as a mother at 39
you look
married.
Great. You're not withered.
No. But it's about the enthusiasm with which men jump into bed and the way you jump and how unattractive it is. Like it's supposed to be a graceful movement, not you like yippee skippying like a fawn.
I think you
onto
did
a futon.
And your view as a young lady from the bathroom going into change into something more comfortable up and then our assholes.
You jump into the bed and you bend over and we see your butthole and it's not cool and it's gross and we have to be like, I can't wait. And you got to be, there's so much as a woman where you have to just be okay with it.
But what I'm saying is, as somebody who watches it, listens to it, laughs at it, and then turns the TV off and then finished, it's like that night when you're getting into bed.
You think about it.
You're cognizant of where your wife is, what angle she's viewing you from.
Don't you want that as a comic? Don't you just want to be the reason a couple argues in the car on the way home from your show? Don't you want that?
But I'm saying you are creating a lot of angst.
Yeah.
Wonderful angst.
I'm paying it back.
Like it's like you have a really good meal and then you have acid reflux.
Yes.
So you have a real good comedy show and those mind fucks are the comedy acid reflux of I'm just telling you as a male.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Listening to you, I thought it was really funny.
Thank you.
I watched the show. Everybody, don't miss it. And great material, great performance, great pants.
Great pants.
But then I got uncomfortable 2 hours later, just being. It's kind of funny. My wife said to me, "What are you looking at?" I'm just nothing. I'm just looking to see where you are before I. Slowly
mount
make
the
my
bed.
way. Not going to mount it.
No.
I'm just going to slip in a very.
Well, you're not getting, and at the beginning I say, this is for men 30 and younger, because that's who's still jumping into bed. You're not jumping into bed.
How do you know?
I just know. Because your back hurts or something. There's
she's calling you old.
That's what she's doing.
My husband he doesn't jump in bed. Like, there's no more lifting of the legs and just being airborne. But it is nice to be cognizant of it, because I think as women,
I frolic.
I was just going to say my dad still frolics.
You still frolic? You're still agile?
Very.
Then I'm glad it made you think twice.
It did. I was
Although,
worried about.
You guys have been married a while.
42 years.
Yeah, so that's different. This was from the perspective of a girl, fresh eyes, and the guy's just like.
So nothing in your special. I enjoyed your special, and you're saying it wasn't for me?
That particular thing was not for you. And your live, agile.
Dancing on
dad
TikTok
bod.
was for me.
The critique of it, yes.
Yes.
Oh, you dance. I could see you doing the dance. You're very famous.
It's nothing to do with fame.
Yeah, it's like a zeitgeisty thing, and people danced, and you danced, and that's,
I don't only do zeitgeisty things.
Well, you don't do it for the love of dance.
Why are you jumping to conclusions? Like, why would he? How do you know just by looking at me, and as well as you don't know me,
Right.
that I don't love to dance?
No, I said
you know how a lot of guys say danger's my middle name? Dance is mine.
I said love of dance. So dance as an art versus love to dance, right? Like, I love to dance, but I don't have a passion for dance, like dancing. And so we do these things because TikTok, these are platforms. And so we do the dance. Everyone does it hoping this will get 1 trillion views.
No, I dance. Because I enjoy moving wildly for 15 seconds.
And
if nobody sees it, I'm okay with that.
And the dance enjoys you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've done some things on TikTok and it's backfired.
Would you say dance needs you?
I think that's up to dance, not me.
But you need dance.
I do need dance.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs a little dance, a 15-second dance.
So I'm interested because I love your take on everything. And
Thank you.
My son does this thing. It's called couples therapy. Are we prepared for something to do this couples therapy? So he does this thing. I thought you would enjoy it, and I thought you would be able to comment on it. And you could look at the screen right now. So what he does is, Alex, who produces the show, he'll say we're doing some digital couples, for some show. And the couples come in, and he sits and he asks them questions about how long they've been going out and whether they have trust for each other, and just little games. And then he says, okay, here's what I want you to do is I want you to switch phones, and I want you to unlock your phones.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you to go through the phones. And they did it in front of him. And then he leaves the room. And then the rest ensues. First of all, let me ask you, would you share your phone with your husband?
In a heartbeat. We have each other's passwords.
Yeah, I think in a good relationship, would you share each other's phones, Jackie, with your husband?
We do. We always use each
Yeah.
other's
Yeah.
phones. Yeah.
I think it's before we just looking at them, because it's a big topic, like privacy and a lot of questions about relationships. Like, I look through my phone. If you don't have something to hide, you don't have something to hide. And if the person trusts you, they're never going to ask. And if they do, then you talk about it. And it's typically a very young person thing and a very insecure relationship thing. I know my husband is always texting another man about basketball, and it is so boring to me, or like their letterbox. So I don't even want to look at the phone. But if I needed it, I think it would be indicative of a bigger issue, the fact that I wanted to look.
So I'll just play you one, and whenever, if you want to stop it, you just put up your hand, and I want to hear your take on what's happening, and we'll all give our takes on what's happening. Play the video.
You know, no matter what happens, I love you no matter what.
Yep, same.
Ew.
Okay, stop right now. Stop right now. Why did you say ooh?
It's just the way she said same, and him and his position. Look at his guilty body language.
So
he looks like a scolded coyote.
So you think he's going to be guilty?
I don't know.
I think, who knows who he's talked to, but her.
Yep, same.
Like it just felt bad.
But why would you preface it? Like
Yeah.
if I'm going to take your phone and I've given you my phone, and these two are in a relationship, it'll tell us in just a second how long they've been together. But why would you say no matter what happens, I love you?
Because I said something to someone else, something flirty, or I talked to an ex and that's going to bother you because you're insecure, or I've done something to make you insecure. So just know it was a nude, but I do love you.
Keep playing.
Sharing.
So this is called couples therapy. Aaron and Bree, they
Like the
swapped their phones.
No!
There's no one in the room
No.
and they're making these noises.
Have you never made noises?
Oh, yeah.
No,
I work with
No,
it.
look.
I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to the direct messages. Here we go. Time to get real. Who's Adam Rappaport?
The guy that wanted to,
Wanted to send you one of those faces? One of
yeah.
those faces? Uh-oh. So why is there someone from Tinder still messaging you?
Oh no!
Stop it. There's somebody from Tinder messaging. So you said he would be the rascal, but she's turning out that she's still on Tinder. I would say goodbye right now.
I don't know any. I just was looking at his body language.
Or you just don't delete your Tinder profile. I don't know. Do you delete dating apps once you start?
You should.
Really?
Yes.
You go back and delete, or you just don't go on them?
Delete it. Because why would you need to keep it, right? She's like, I'm going to grab my phone.
Well,
Do you still have dating apps?
I do, but for
Wait.
Alex.
Wait, didn't you say you were married?
I am married. I have dating apps on my phone for my brother.
What? Is that attractive to young women? Like, my sister will be messaging you to confirm our yogurt date.
I message them as my brother. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. Well, now he does. He's sitting right there.
Like sexual?
No.
What are you wearing?
No. Once it gets to the point where they're like, all right, they respond, then I'm like, Alex, take
It's
it
a
from
bait
here.
and switch.
Yeah.
No! How long do you talk? I'm sorry.
Alex.
We have this is now the podcast.
I haven't done this in a really long time.
You guys are this is like Game of Thrones.
I want a sister-in-law.
Oh my, this is very Jewish. Yeah. I want a sister-in-law. Okay, so can I see this text? Can I see one of these catfishing?
I don't think I still have it. I don't think I
now
have
you
it.
Let's see if it's
Do you
up.
have it?
Do you have it, Alex? Do you have any one of
Do you
them?
have any of the old texts?
No.
How long do you talk with them?
Well, I haven't done it in a really long time.
Okay, and
Okay, Alex, the
How
one
does- how
where
is
you
that-
went on a date, how long did I talk to her before you went on the date? Alex?
do you show up
He doesn't know.
dressed? Do you show up in like a mustache and a hat? And
I
then
don't
like
show
halfway
up.
through appetizers, you swap out in the bathroom.
I don't show up.
You show out.
No, I talk to these girls, these women. They respond to me.
You're a
a
madam.
I take screenshots. I send them to my brother, and I say, "Are you interested?" And he says yes or no. And then I just pass them off. I'm like, "Here's my number," and I give them my brother's number.
Why?
And has he gone out with them?
He's gone out with one.
But
And?
I have an actual
It didn't
question.
work out.
Because as a educational facilitator, you should be very cognizant of stunting someone's growth. What is to prevent this man with working thumbs and eyes and a mind?
He does fine. He does. That's why I don't do it anymore. He does fine now by himself.
No, to be honest with you, she was being very judgmental of the people that he was choosing.
okay.
We've talked about this before, but he has a like a
Oh, you're
type-
going to talk about this again?
what? What was I going to talk about?
A model rescue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone needs a home and a meal. You're going to rescue one type, make it be a model. No one wants an ugly.
All right. Well, I was just concerned that maybe they weren't dating him for the right reasons, some of the women that he was going after.
She wants it to be
And
all
I
the right
wanted-
reasons.
And it is because Howie's his dad? Or don't you have different
don't
last
know.
names? Isn't his last name Schultz also?
No, his last name is Mandel. Mine is
Oh,
Schultz
that's right, because you're
I'm
married. Got it.
Yeah,
Got
Right.
it. Sorry.
And his name is Mandel because why is his name Mandel?
because he's yours.
Yes.
I mean,
Do you think they knew that?
I don't know. All I'm
Wait,
saying.
can I what are the other reasons? If it's not the family, if it's not the famous dad, I actually want to know.
He does well on his own.
Can I see your face? Show me your face.
I'm not concerned anymore, though.
What are the wrong reasons?
No, that's it.
Okay,
Like,
the money. It's the money.
Money.
Howie, I've seen your house. You have so much money. I actually wrote about it in my book, but I took your name out.
My house
Yeah.
is in your book? Uh-huh. I'm happy. What did you say?
The story is I took your name out because it felt very, I don't know a ton of celebrities, so it felt very like, and you have more than one daughter, or is just the one?
2 daughters and a son.
I was invited to a party at your house before you and I had ever worked together.
Okay.
It's not a bad story.
No,
Okay.
it could be a bad story.
No, that would be horrible.
I'd love
then
to
I
hear the story.
asked to come on your podcast. I was invited to you had like a 4th of July, but it was also like a birthday party for one of your daughters.
Oh, my engagement.
Was that what it was?
4th of July
Was it
engagement.
what part of
It was
town?
in Malibu.
That's
Mine.
That's
my
her
engagement party.
Okay. And I was invited by another comic who had worked with someone in your production, or maybe he knows you. This is so long ago, and it's before I knew any of you. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I've never been this deep into Malibu. One has to be invited to be this deep in Malibu. You
Really?
don't just, that deep into Malibu. Like, you don't just, oh, I took a wrong turn. Like, you have an address you're going to. You're not like going grocery shopping.
Right.
And I didn't want to show up. I have a whole chapter about like manners. And I didn't want to show up without a gift because I didn't know what I was walking into. And I didn't know the girl. I didn't know you.
Yeah.
The girl.
The girl. I just
the
knew
girl.
that it was like the daughter's engagement party. Maybe I thought it was a birthday, but I was like, I can't just show up. But so I stopped at the like Malibu country, like that thing that's got all the stores. And
Right.
it wasn't as developed at the time. And I remember I was like, well, what do I get her? And I saw there was a chocolate shop. And
Right.
I didn't have a ton of money, but I bought a $50 box of chocolate because I didn't want to show up empty handed, but I didn't want to spend like $100, but I didn't want to go to like Trader Joe. Like, and I was already so close. And that was the last bastion of something to buy. So I bought this really expensive box of chocolate and I got there and I didn't know you, but I was hoping to just like give it to the person and be like, happy birthday. And it got handed off to like a housekeeper or something. And like, I was like,
You've
I
never
hope
seen
this
the
girl
chocolate?
gets it.
You didn't.
No, I for sure probably did. I don't know.
No.
Probably.
It was just more like, oh my God, they're going to think I came empty handed. I don't know where this went. And then I talked to you.
Thank
and
God
honestly,
it's resolved.
we've been
Here
talking
on
about
the-
it since.
it's funny. So she
that you
wasn't empty.
came- That's good to know.
No, you didn't know me and you didn't.
Yeah, I know, but the reason we thought the one party we invited her to, she came empty-handed. So thank God we found out.
Thank
It's
God.
been
Well,
resolved.
the whole chapter is about like, you don't have to go nuts, but like keep something so you can give something. And then you told me a story about an elephant, which I may have taken out of the book, about how you'd rented an elephant.
I did.
Right. And I remember
Why'd
thinking,
you take that
Why
story out
did
of
you take his name and the elephant?
because
out of this?
because
I feel like I've been redacted.
it was redacted because I didn't, well, now I'm telling on the podcast, I was very protective of you and I didn't
Thank
want
you.
it to look like it was like, oh my God, and they took the chocolates and like, I just wanted you like it to
I
be
don't
like,
understand. They took chocolates and an elephant.
and a guy who had an elephant. And the whole point was, I was like, if someone can afford an elephant, you don't have to buy a $50 box of chocolates.
I didn't buy an elephant.
Rented an elephant and ate all your shrubs.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
right.
It
I remember
ruined your
it.
lawn.
$25,000.
The whole point of it was about if you're invited, it's okay to, you don't have to break the bank to bring something.
There wasn't an elephant there, though.
No, it was a different story.
Yeah.
But I remember you
that
told me
was
that
my
story.
daughter.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's not an elephant. That was my daughter.
She's lost all the weight. She looks great.
Thank you.
It was just like a random
Well,
like
thanks for coming.
it was about showing up. It's about how as we get older, you know, when you have parties, when you have friends over, what to bring, and how the majority of my male friends still show up with like half a Coors Light. They're like, "Is this cool?" And it's like, no, you're coming to a home, you're coming to a thing. Act like you belong and bring something.
Well,
Be a person.
I'll bring like my own self. I'll let people like, if hey, thanks for having me over. You want to smell my finger? I'll do things like that.
You would never let someone smell your finger.
I'll let
You
that. I don't want to
shake hands.
I don't want to shake hands. You can
So you
smell
just
my
hold it up?
You can smell
If
my
you're
finger.
breathing in, he doesn't mind. It's just if you
Breathing
breathe
in.
out.
What if his finger smells so bad that they sneeze on the finger?
Oh, no.
That never happened. Anyway, back to this couple.
Okay.
She's still on Tinder. Play.
Okay.
I don't know. He's just trying. But I'm not letting him. Okay. Tinder.
No, okay, I swear to God, her last name is Tinder. You
No.
can look that up. That is real.
Boom.
Have not-
Stop.
Oh, of the Dutch Tinders of New York?
You're on Tinder. No, I'm not. That's Marla Tinder.
Marla Tinder.
Marla Tinder. She was just texting me. Do you believe that? Is
I
he
actually
lying?
do believe him.
You believe him?
I believe him.
Okay, I just want to see more.
Okay, more.
Okay.
Keep playing.
I met her through Tinder. That's really funny, though. That's really funny. Her actual last name is Tinder. Wait, who's this guy you met on Tinder? This is baloney. Why are you
This
still
is
talking to him?
baloney.
I was like this.
No, he has a mutual friend. I'm not still talking
It
to
says,
him.
by the way, I see we matched finally. That was on August 4th.
Oh my God.
What does that mean? Ew, dude, are you on Tinder?
I think this is
No.
staged.
How would he say that?
You're telling me this is
Because
not
I must
staged?
have liked him.
Not
for,
everything's a
months
scam, young lady.
What are the
saying.
odds he wouldn't find you until now? from
Wait, I have a question.
8 months ago.
How long have they been together? 8 months, he said?
How long?
How long?
Do you guys know?
It was like 8 or 9 months.
Because what I'm missing is she's like, the reaction, like he's like, you said you just met. She's like, oh my God. Like, I'm not getting a full reaction. I'm getting no explanations. I'm getting a lot of like giggling.
I think she's playing in her head. For people that aren't watching, she's kind of just ignoring him.
Okay.
I think that she's playing out in her head what she's going to do. I think she knows she's caught.
Oh, so that is what happened.
She kind of looks uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to see more.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't have Tinder on my phone. You know that.
You know that.
Okay. I'll tell you, but would you be cool texting maybe just because it's so much easier? He super liked you.
I don't know.
He super liked
I don't
you.
know.
How is he seeing that if it's not on the app?
Message.
I tell you.
And
I
you
don't
gave
know.
him your number. What? No. What's
hate
going
you.
on?
I hate you.
What?
Oh my God. And he said, we really don't have to talk. Haha. I don't want to bother you. And you said, you're not bothering me. What?
Why is she saying I hate
Oh my
you?
gosh. You left the door wide open.
No.
What does TFTI mean again?
Thanks for the invite.
To the slumber party? From Jay?
I don't know who that is.
What? What do you mean you don't know who that is? How's
No,
that
I'm not
helpful?
following him. Does it look like I know who that is?
And he just randomly said, thank you for the invite to the slumber party?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I
who that
actually
is.
believe
Is she
you
just
on that one,
sustaining
which
and
is-
maintaining?
I think
Oh
so.
my God.
Look at this couch that they put them on.
Jace
It's
can
so
add
tiny.
you a snap. What? Who is this?
I'm gonna kill you.
What do you mean you're gonna kill me?
Because
I don't think she's
To
actually
be
even
completely
looking at.
honest, you're cute AF dude.
oh my God.
Are you Jolie's friend? Who is Jolie?
Yeah, I
How
know.
is she
See,
hooking you up with all
exactly.
these
See,
people who
no.
are calling you cute and saying, oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna get out of your direct messages. This is terrible. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore.
I'm not talking to any of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, then I don't want to. The fact that you said it like that makes me think there's
no.
nothing cool to
I'll show
listen to.
you.
What about Ryan Hughes? Who's Ryan Hughes?
I'll show you.
Who's Ryan Hughes?
No.
Why are you taking
Why
me
is
away
he
from
so-
Ryan Hughes then?
No,
Let me
it's not
listen to
that.
Ryan.
Is he angry? That's why he's laughing
Oh
so
look,
much?
the
Okay.
verdict.
All right.
Here is the verdict.
I'm not happy that you turned things around.
Continue. I don't know what you mean. What do you
Like, you know that people have in the last 8 months still have reached out to me and been like, "You're pretty," and
8
things
months,
like that.
they've been
you know
together.
That I
You
never,
know they
like,
think I'm pretty.
reciprocated
But like the
weird-
inherent idea behind Snapchat is that like you had no paper trail, which is like why it's like really suspect. If someone's like messaging you and flirting and you give them your Snapchat, it's like. Overall, this experience has landed right in the middle between helping and hurting for me. I'm so confused, but excited moving forward.
Exciting.
Aaron and Bria's current relationship status. We went online and we looked at it.
And they're single.
Single. Boom. Out. So they broke up. They were going together for 8 months.
He didn't seem angry.
Well, I think because he knows he's not at home. There are cameras in the room. They are aware that there are cameras
Right.
there. I think he was trying to keep his composure as much as possible, but he was.
Some people smile and laugh when they're angry, which is extra terrifying.
I think they were both just super uncomfortable.
But I love what her little ploy of. She was caught red-handed.
Yeah.
And well, I hate you. Like she's turning the anger on him.
How old were they? They look like 25.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
You know, I in my book I talk about how as a woman, yeah, and just when you're younger, you should get a pass for anything that happens in your 20s.
Really?
I really think that
If you're in a relationship currently, like anything goes.
it's not anything goes, it's just like you're still figuring out how to be, and like she obviously wasn't mature enough for, and I don't know what that guy's like. It's not right, but this is what people in their 20s kind of do. I'm not saying everyone. We've all made mistakes, and she shouldn't feel bad about this like at 35. Like feel
Well,
bad.
I don't know
move
that she's
on.
going to hold on to it, but don't you think that honesty is always the best policy at whatever age?
She's going to learn that lesson from this, and then the next guy maybe she won't. You know, I think it's just this. I really think that there's this. We want women to be these like perfect, pure creatures, and we're okay when guys do stuff like this.
So, do you have a story? Were you ever caught red-handed?
I kissed someone once when I was dating someone. I kissed someone else. That's it.
And?
I've never had.
And
And the boyfriend found out,
yeah,
and that was super uncomfortable. was a very long time ago. And I never did it again.
Did he stay with you?
We did, and then it was uncomfortable, and then we were just whatever. But that's also the boyfriend thought I was cheating on him all the time.
Because you lost. Oh, even before that.
Before that, but also it's like, yeah, you're 24. This person's like, you're figuring out who you are. You need, as the Dixie chicks say, wide open spaces. We're not supposed to say Dixie anymore, but you got to give.
You're not supposed to say that?
You're not supposed to say Dixie. Say
Chicks.
The chicks. Excuse me. So I don't know. I think women are made to pay dearly when they make a mistake as they evolve, as they grow. And there's mistakes, but I don't think it's something that you need to hold on to.
You think women have to pay dearly for a mistake more than a man for a mistake?
Yes.
Really?
Socially, yes.
Really?
Yes. A woman cheating.
Caroline's saying yes. What do we do?
Of course she does.
I don't
Of course she agrees
agree.
with me.
I mean, I agree with everything Eliza's saying. Because, like, I mean, no, seriously. Like,
From the moment I sat down.
Yeah, but I'm just like, a guy can go around and sleep with whoever, but if a girl does it, then they're a slut. So.
I mean, that's the base. I mean, that is, and it's a thing people talk about, but we don't forgive women who make a mistake. And if you look at the way, like male CEOs, it's like you got guys sexually assaulting left and right, and then some female CEO like has a bad day with HR or doesn't give enough tampon brands in the break room, and it's like burn her, rip her company away. We judge women through, I think, a harsher lens because we're supposed to be so perfect to so many people at once.
Wow, I don't know. I haven't really experienced that, so I don't know.
Why would you?
Pardon me?
Why would you experience
Because
that?
I thought that maybe I would be, I've worked in corporate America. I've worked in sales and outside of show business, and I don't know. I think that women have the short end of the stick, the short end of the stick in life generally, but I don't know about. And they get paid less for doing equal, if not better,
and
work.
our stuff's more expensive.
Didn't you even see, like, just thinking back to our childhood, if I acted out in comparison to my brother acting out, he's a typical boy and he didn't get in as much trouble. If I acted out, I was suspended all the time. And I feel like he was a lot worse.
Right. And I took the door off the room and put 2 doors.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about school and administration. And I think that it was a lot different for me, even in the way that I was viewed when I acted out at school than when he was acting out because he was a typical boy.
Well, he was also a really good salesman.
But he's allowed to be a good salesman. He's allowed to talk his way out of something. He'll never get called bossy.
But can't a woman charm somebody?
Yeah, but if she does, well, she used her feminine wiles. Well, she was being well, she used her body. You can be charming, but you run the risk when you're a woman of upsetting the other women because you were too sexy, or of using what you had to get what you needed or get what you want.
And guys don't do that?
It's not about that as much as being criticized whether you do or whether you don't. So the lesson at the end of the day is, well, just go forth and do because you're going to be in trouble regardless. And I think about that a lot, like in business, standing up for yourself, saying something. Like, for example, I was recording the audiobook for my book the other day, and I get there and the studio was horrible and it was hot and there was no AC. And I had to temper the way that I explained to them that these were unworkable circumstances. And I was met with, well, a lot of people record here, but it was untenable. And I have to think about the tone of my voice and my delivery in a way that maybe a guy might not have to, because when you'll never be called bitchy, even on your worst day. You'll never be called difficult. And I've never been called those things.
I've been called difficult.
But it doesn't stick as much as it does for a girl.
So if you said, I can't work here, it's too hot, and you walked out, and I said, I can't work here, it's too hot, you think it would be
then
different?
She's a diva.
And what am I? I'm an asshole.
Well, but that's okay. We love a lovable asshole. We love when guys like tell it like it is, and you run the risk as a girl. Now, you still have to stand up for yourself, and you can always be nice, but you always run the risk of offending someone, and their story matters just as much as your perspective versus being like, you know what? No, we love Iliza. She's always great. We know that didn't happen. Oh, I bet she was a bitch. Like anytime I hear something about another female comic, if it's unsubstantiated, like I've never heard it before, I'm very quick to say to that person, where did you hear that from and how do you know?
You're also chosen a path in life.
It chose me. It chose me, Howie.
Probably
just like
did.
the dance chose you.
You're right. You're right. But I think that this is listen, show business and comedy is, and I'm not complaining, a lot of people work really hard and have a tough time. This is a tough, it's a tough path.
It's awful.
And
awful.
And wonderful.
And wonderful.
Like, it's as awful as it can be equally as wonderful. To have an entire room who doesn't really know you from Adam just laughing and loving and just joining in the spirit of what comedy is, there's no better feeling. That's a euphoria that we chase every moment of our lives. Yes. But also being rejected or passed over or just ignored. It also, because our comedy and our sense of humor comes from within, it's painful. And I think being a woman is even more painful because I think it's just an easier path for men in comedy than it is just being a woman in comedy.
I don't disagree. And it's not even, I'm not sitting here like, oh, let's gender everything. I look at your career in particular. I mean, that is, talk about a marathon. You know, like there were several years where you weren't working.
Absolutely. I wanted to quit.
And I think, you know, I always think about your career because I hate to say comeback because you never left, but like what a full circle. Like people don't realize how long of a game this is.
But that's life.
No, but some people, a lot of people, and we know these people, like they stop. I don't do stand-up. I became this. I moved away. And to stick it out and to see what you've built, and you're a comic, and you know, you had a cartoon, and then there were, I guess, darker years, but then to see the empire that you've built because you stuck it out and you reinvented yourself.
I always say to my kids and to, you know, the best philosophy that I've ever kind of gleaned onto is Nike, and that's just do it. And it really is. There's no difference between just do it.
You got to do it.
And you know, you look at human beings like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or all these other people, and the only difference between them and anybody else who's not they did
family money. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Okay. Emerald mining money. Nope, that's not that. Okay.
No.
Okay.
They did it. They did it. They had a passion for something, and they quit their school and they worked in the garage at something that you or I have absolutely no interest in.
That's not the only difference.
It's a big part of the difference.
Again, the family money is huge.
Really?
That does give you a leg.
There are a lot of obstacles for other people.
Steve Wozniak doesn't come from
No,
money.
I was just thinking of Elon Musk. South African.
Did Elon Musk have a lot of money? Did his family have money?
Yeah, they do.
I didn't know that.
But look, there are plenty of people that come from family money that are total idiots and they like DJ on the side and do blow and live in a penthouse and they do nothing, right?
Right.
So you can't take it all away. And this is not a conversation about privilege versus whatever. At the end of the day, as an artist, I think it's all, and as a person, it's all about, are you going to let people who are unqualified tell you that your dreams don't matter? And I think when you're a woman, you can use the fact that you're a woman as a crutch or a stepping stone.
Yeah. It's unusual for a little girl to say, I want to be a stand-up comic, or even end up doing that, or that's what's putting the roof, you know, that's been paying the rent for you for decades now.
Sure.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been a stand-up comic since 2008. So it's like almost 20 years, I think. But
what did you do before this?
I was in college.
You went right out of college? You never had a
I had
career?
like an office job for like 3 years while I did stand-up at night. And then in 2008, I became a professional comic. Like like on
Where
TV.
that was your only job?
After I was on a TV show, and then after that show,
Was that the dating show?
that was on Last Comic Standing, and I won that in 2008. And so
Right.
then you become
That
a
was your
headliner.
first TV show?
I want to say that was the first time I did stand up on TV because
Wow.
I graduated college in like 2005.
What was your major?
Film. Whoops.
Did you want to?
Still
you made
do.
a movie.
Still do want to make movies.
Do you like directing and writing? I mean, you're a writer.
I like writing them. I love it. I mean,
You like acting.
shot a few movies.
Right.
I like acting. I like having the responsibility of success be on some other people's shoulders.
Well,
When you're a stand-up, it's just you. And when you do movies, like it's an ensemble and there's a director.
but then
like,
you got to collaborate. You like
I love
collaborating? You like collaborating.
I always want to collaborate with people who know better than I do. That's what you want. People who can elevate things.
Are you open to people that know more than you? Or
It's
you know,
all
a
I
lot
ever
of-
because you never get feedback. When you audition, they're like, "You were great, perfect. Please don't ever call us again." And you're like, "Please just tell me what I could fix," and no one will ever tell you that. So I crave that feedback because with an audience, you have instant feedback.
Right.
You know what works and what doesn't.
Right.
And with acting,
That's why I didn't like movies. You know, I acted at the beginning. I didn't like that because
Right.
I didn't have the feedback, and I feel like you're working in a vacuum.
yes,
And you're at the mercy of the writer and the director as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to anything that you're doing. I like the control of just
Sure. I mean, I guess the objective is to be at a place where you can control your output, right? Where you are the director, you are the producer.
So what's the dream? You got a book out. You keep doing 6 specials on Netflix is epic.
I really wanted to come here and do your VR and be in one of these boxes.
You can do that too.
One of those boxes.
So maybe if things
Your
work
dream
out,
is,
Iliza
hologram.
will hologram to many places.
Dead. I don't want to be fully dead.
You want to be like a Tupac.
That's me. Both Jewish.
Jewish. I thought we were going to talk about the Jewiness.
No.
We're not loved.
You know, I think people use their unsubstantiated disdain for Israel as a gateway drug to anti-Semitism. I think it becomes very easy if you don't agree with the politics of a country, and this is the only place that this happens, to say, and therefore I don't like Jews on this side, which, by the way, so many Jews have never even been there.
But I don't agree with you because the anti-Semitism and the hatred for Jews started way before Israel even existed.
I'm saying this is now an easier way to do it. So you have this built-in systemic racism, anti-Semitism, and now, because you couldn't come out and say it before, well, also, I hate Israel. So now you can like back channel into doing it. And you have these kids in expensive, nice colleges all across the country coming together at these like anti-Semitic rallies, anti-Israel rallies, and they can't separate the two. And it's kind of like, and no one says anything because we're all like a little embarrassed, but I have no problem saying, you know, I march for people. I stand up for anti-Asian hate. I believe Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, all this stuff. And I don't think Jews see a lot of people standing up for them because it seems, well, you guys don't need it.
It does seem like that. But you know what? Humanity needs it. Humanity just needs another human standing up for a human, regardless of what you are, your beliefs are.
It's tough because there's truth and then there's truth. And there's the last several years we've talked about like personal facts being feelings, and what are actual facts. And there has been a war on scientists, doctors, truths, you know?
Because you know what? Perception has become the big issue rather than it's your perception. It's not, you could, two different people can see the exact same thing and have a totally different perception of what they're seeing or what they're hearing and take it a different way. And
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
We're 3 people in here, including 4.
We can't even know what we're talking about.
We don't even know what we're talking about. But I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Liza. Liza is a brilliant, young.
Thank you.
What, you didn't even finish, and you're already.
I was fine with young.
Okay,
Thank you.
Are. Well,
unwithered.
Yes, you're young. You could be my child, kid. Yeah, I've been married for 42 years. We could have waited 2 years and still had you.
Thank you.
So the point is that you. Like you described me, you have had this incredible career. It's still going. You're nearing your 2nd decade as a really pertinent force in stand-up comedy, in writing. You have a book coming out, and listeners will put it. Jeremy, you'll put it at the bottom.
October 11th.
Well, this will probably air after October 11th.
It was out. It came out, so get it.
Since October 11th.
Yeah.
So that you'll click on where you can get her book, watch her on Netflix, all her specials, but the 6th one has just come out. And anything else to plug?
I always hate that. I always mess up that part.
You don't have to mess it up. I'll give you let's sit for a moment in silence while you think of what you would like we're number 35 in Croatia. So this
I saw that.
We are.
I saw that, and you have Lisbon on there as well. Was that right?
What are we in Lisbon? Kyle?
Benin?
I think it's Lebanon.
32nd.
32nd in Lebanon. We do
I'm
better.
huge there.
We do. Well, so if taking into account those international markets and how vibrant we are on the airwaves in those markets.
They're going to love the anti-Semitism stuff.
They'll learn. You have to see both sides.
I would like to say, I sent you an email and I was like, can I come on your podcast? And you said yes. And so I just want to say that I always appreciate how generous you are to me.
I'm not generous. I'm truly a fan.
Thank you.
I think, I'm also, for those that don't know, I produce things, and you were my first choice when we were producing shows. We tried to get a show off the ground a couple of years ago. I would love any opportunity to continue to work with you if there is something that I can do to help you. And I'm a fan first.
Thank you.
And you're a good human being. I'm thrilled for you. I'm thrilled that you're a mom. Are you going to have another one?
I don't know.
Who do we ask?
That's a great question. I think it'll be if it's an easy path, we'll do it.
Did you have an easy pregnancy?
I had the best pregnancy.
And not to get into details, the birth was.
I'll tell you. And not only did I have a fantastic pregnancy, I had so much energy. I thought I was going to give birth to a raisin because I was positive I was like sucking all of her vitality out of her. I decided to induce, and we hiked the entire week, like hoping the baby would come out. I went in. They gave me.
Why would you just decide to induce? Were you past the delivery date?
The delivery date was, I think, that day, and it wasn't happening. And of course, it doesn't come. The first one never comes early for the most part. I had my tour schedule because of COVID. Everything had been pushed, so we had the next huge show, which we'd rescheduled, not because of me, was in February, and I was due, I think, January 12th or something. And we decided to induce because the baby didn't need to be cooking anymore, and I wanted to give myself enough time to recover with her, so that if I physically could, I could be ready for that show. And the doctor was like, "You can do this." And they called, and she was like, "We can get you in for tomorrow." And I'm like, "What about today?" And she said, "Okay." And I went, and we did the drugs. I watched several.
Is that Pitocin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pitocin.
Oh my God. I don't. We did that, but and then becomes a question of balancing because sometimes it makes you itchy. The epidural. So then you're taking Benadryl. But I was there, and
you had an epidural?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did my wife during inception.
What do you mean? You watched Inception?
No. When we were doing the act, when I was impregnating her.
She got an epidural.
Yes.
Sorry. You mean conception?
Well,
she was incepting.
We didn't know if it was that. We tried 3 times before the egg took. So isn't it Inception?
I think
Conception?
Conception.
Well, you're right. It was the movie. Sorry, I always get watching that movie and having sex with my wife.
It's a very sexual movie. But I
don't understand the ending.
I never saw it, right.
Do you understand the ending?
I never saw the movie.
No, I'm not talking about the movie. Of my sex with my wife.
Well, I understand.
I'm sitting.
Some of them are here.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah,
I don't
worked.
understand you.
Yeah.
But it was great. And I had the baby, and I love her.
How
so
long
much.
were you in labor?
Now I can't remember. I think it was like 27 hours. I mean, you're in labor. Wait, no. Because they're giving you the Pitocin, so you're having these very mild contractions, but you can't feel
Braxton
them.
Hicks.
Yes, but then but they're small all the way.
I just wanted to say that because I got Inception and Conception mixed up, so I want to say something right.
Smart.
Right,
Yeah.
something smart. And then the active pushing was 75 minutes. And I was like, when she was like, "You're dilated," I was like, "It's go time, baby." Like I was so
was your husband involved?
Yeah, he was right there.
Like breathe.
No. He's a very like reserved man.
He's a chef.
They gave him something to do. They're like, "Why don't you hold her neck?" I'm like, "He doesn't need to hold my neck." But
did he handle it like a chef? Like it was ready, like a slow cooker?
handled that baby. He was there
Did he videotape it?
We have her. I can show it to you. It's actually beautiful. Not that part.
No,
Not that part.
okay.
We have when they put her on my chest, and I decided to keep my bra on, and my nose is like 8 inches wide because I had a breathe right strip, and you just have this little thing.
You kept your bra on. Are you nursing?
Eventually, but
you got to take your bra off for that.
Here's my thing.
What?
When I would see anything about a woman that just gave birth, they're always topless, and you got to control those things. And I didn't want to be laying there like an orangutan. So I had this like stretchy bra, and it happened so fast. 75 minutes, you're so focused. I just kept it on. It was just a personal choice. And it was the
75
best.
minutes sounds like a long time.
I broke every blood vessel in my face.
In your face?
Oh my, because you're pushing, and it's all around my eyes.
That's crazy.
It was awesome.
And maybe you'll
10
have
out of
another
10.
one.
10 out of 10 would do again.
Really?
Yeah, because your chemicals in your brain make you forget how horrific it was.
I've done it twice. I wouldn't do it again.
Just
Well, you
a kid.
did it twice.
Yes.
And
but
you had fairly easy.
that's what I'm saying. 75 minutes sounds like a long time. Mine was really easy, and I would not do it again.
I guess I had nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
And maybe at the time I said I wouldn't do it again, but that's how we get more.
Not to go into details, but I wasn't in the room when once she went into labor, I left.
Yeah.
And there was when she went to the hospital, it was very busy there. There was like 5 rooms, and I was standing by the nurse's station. And in some of the rooms, I could hear the girls, the women, screaming. Going, fuck!
Oh.
Fuck! Whoa! And I could hear it, and the other, ooh, and like pain, and like it was really hard. And out of the nurses were commenting in my daughter's room, it's very quiet, like she seemed to be having an easier time and then we heard, wow! And they go, your daughter seems, maybe. And I go, that's not my daughter. And that was her husband.
That's
Her
my husband was
screamed.
screaming.
He screamed.
My husband was screaming the whole time.
Wow.
He screamed.
And then the doctor also had to tell him to step away.
Yeah,
because
it's enough.
he was trying to help too.
Gee, I heard the
Don't worry,
doctor.
I'm a man. I went to college.
You want to hear? I didn't want to say, and I won't say specifically, but I heard the doctor say, "Get your hand out of there." I swear to God.
He's trying to help.
He was trying
washed. Yeah, he was trying to. Well, that's sweet. Versus,
Is it?
No, it was not sweet. It was not good.
I can't judge how another human would act in that. All I know is that
When she was born, I was on a show called St. Elsewhere. I played a doctor. And being a doctor, the people who were in that field.
right.
So this was at Cedars-Sinai.
Yes.
And
course.
doctors would drop by to see me, but they didn't want to make it seem like they were just coming to say hi.
Right.
So every doctor, and after about 6, would come in, put on a glove, stick it up my wife, and go, she's at 4 centimeters?
Your wife was just like, cool, welcome to the party.
Yeah, welcome to the party. And then I went, this is not a fucking puppet show.
Yeah.
People, if you want to see me, I'll come out in the hall. But more men stuck their fingers in my wife and tickled your little head.
Yeah, you can touch the head.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had it was great. I toured all of Europe, 7 months pregnant. My husband was sick the entire time. I was like jacked up, ready to go. I had the
toured?
Yeah. I went all through Europe.
How much weight did you gain?
Not that much. And I will tell you what, I mean, I don't know how,
because you look, I mean, you wouldn't have any of that now, but you always look like you're in great shape. Did you exercise through your pregnancy?
Not only that, we did a lot of I don't think we took one Uber in Europe. We walked everywhere. Exercised.
Walked to Europe.
Walked to Europe. Exercised even the day when the hospital was on a hike that morning because you're hoping to walk it out. But the second I was medically cleared to work out, I started doing Pilates. And I've done it for the last 7 months. And that is my answer to everything.
Wow. My wife does Pilates. She's in good shape. Anyway, you're wonderful. I don't know what the third thing we plugged, but I'm going to say buy the book, watch Netflix.
The third thing was me saying my admiration for your career.
Well, thank you. Oh, let's plug your husband's book. What's that called?
Absolutely. It comes out in January, and it is called the Don't Panic Pantry Cookbook. And
what's his name?
His name is Noah Galutin. And
Noah Galutin?
Yep.
No, it isn't.
Yep.
That's what every woman in California says when they're ordering off the menu.
Oh, man. I was hoping. It's not the same
gluten.
word. It's Galutin.
Oh, I thought.
I managed to find the only last name that was worse than Schlesinger.
No.
But he's worth it.
You're Iliza Galutin.
No, we did not. I already got my cross to bear.
Okay.
We did Schlesinger. But it's a beautiful book of all of his recipes, and he's a brilliant guy.
Well, he's a lucky guy.
Yeah.
And we're lucky to have you on this episode of Howie Mandel Does Stuff. Feel free to comment, to subscribe, and anybody who buys merch will save.
What are you talking about?
Won't they?
Oh, save what?
Save big. Save big.
No,
save
like if
what?
you buy merch from this episode.
You can't claim to plant a tree or
It's
something if we
10%
don't
off.
have.
10% off hoodies and sweatshirts.
Okay.
Not mine, but yeah, that's good to
Off
listen.
someone's. It's 10% off someone's merch.
I'm gonna show you a picture of my baby.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Both my brother and I.
I'm sorry, both my husband and I